Today, I want to talk to you about, is there such a thing as a magic bullet for your health and fitness? Because today, over 68% of the population is overweight or obese. And in the United States alone, just try and wrap your head around this number, between 40 and $50 billion is spent every year on nutritional supplements, on things like gym memberships and all those kind of, help your physical body. And what a lot of these people think is, I'm going to take this supplement and tomorrow I'm going to look like that fitness model on the infomercial, right? I'm going to lift this once and I'm going to have big old Arnold Schwarzenegger arms. So my question is there such a thing as that magic bullet for your health and fitness? Well, the answer is yes. But here's how that yes fits. That magic bullet actually fits into, call it 3 parts. It's a combination of what you eat, what you do, and how much you sleep. You might say, well, that's not very glamorous. I know it doesn't sell infomercials and it doesn't, sell supplements, but that's really what it comes down to. And I understand for time's sake, this is like a year-long, probably, session in university to talk about and break down the nutrition and all these aspects and things like that. But I just was thinking of some simple rules of thumb that we can all apply to everyday life. How about what you eat? The simplest thing about what you eat is you want to eat real food. If you read a label of something and it's full of isopropyls and glycol, I have a question. Where did that grow? What plant did you get isopropyl glycol off of? And it's a simple rule of thumb. The closer you can get to real food, the better it is for your body. Our bodies are designed that when we feed our bodies properly, that our bodies will regenerate, our bodies will reproduce, our cells will, run properly. There's a recent study that they said all things being equal, as near as we can figure out, the human body should last 120 years. The reason most bodies fail, I'll give you an example. I had a car once that everybody should own one of these cars, right? It had holes in the holes and it had, it was just the end of, and it was like, well, I'll just drive it and who cares about changing the oil? I burn oil, I just keep putting more oil in. Well, guess what? If you run your car on dirty oil long enough, your car's gonna break. And that car did break, thankfully. But your body is no different. If you run your body on bad fuel, it's going to break or break down. And, a simple rule of thumb with that also, when it comes to real food, I've heard people say, well, raw sugar, that's real food, right? In small quantities. If you're going to throw sugar in the mix. Because have you ever had the big old dessert and then just about been comatose about 2 minutes after when the sugar rush hits? Because what happens is your body produces all this insulin to manage all this sugar that's in your system, but because there's no fiber, it spikes into your body, your insulin's up here, and then the sugar is gone, and the insulin stays up here. And that's why you're almost comatose, right? You almost can't have the rational conversation with somebody after you eat like a big old huge dessert, right? So what you put in, what you do, sitting on the couch pushing the button or these buttons is not considered exercise. There's no exercise where when I go to the gym that's, well, here's how you work your fingers out so you can push better on your keyboard, right? So it's simple. What do I need to do? You need to do about 30 minutes of cardio every day. What is cardio? It just means with air. It means that you go out and you go for a walk. It means that, you don't have to go and run a marathon. You don't have to try and climb a mountain. If you want to, knock yourself out. But it means that you can do something very simply right where you're at, right at the level that works for you, and you can do it consistently. right? It's like people who've never been to the gym before. I'm going to the gym tomorrow. I'm doing everything. I'm doing it. I'm going to the gym 5 times a week. How about you go once and then let your body recover and then go again, right? Make realistic goals when we talk about things like that. Now here's the other side of it. You need to put probably 2, maybe 3 times a week some kind of resistance training into your week. What we call old age, muscle weakness, loss of flexibility, loss of bone density, is not really quote unquote old age, it's just lack of use. Your body is designed that if you will not put it under resistance, it will degenerate. But if you put your muscles under resistance, they will respond. Muscular adaptation responds by growth or by increasing the type of muscle fibers that you're working on, whether it's fast twitch by doing lifting weights and high intensity training and things like that, or slow twitch by long runs and things like that. But what you do and what you put your body under for resistance is what your body is going to respond to. And here's the thing. We are now part of the mechanized, industrialized era where everything's easy. We don't go out and kill our food anymore. We don't go and, how much exercise is it to walk into Superstore or Walmart or Costco? You might think it's exercise some days in Costco, but to just go and get some groceries, right? You don't have to kill anybody, or you don't have to kill the animal. You don't have to climb the tree. Our bodies don't have that natural built-in exercise factor. It was funny. Somebody told me one time we were just talking about something in turn of the century, like what you see in the New Testament in the Bible, and they said, on average, those guys walk 30 miles a day in sandals, right? So we have to understand we are in such a society in such a way that we have it easy. How's that? And the flip side of that easy is it's easy to get out of shape. Take a look at me, maybe not for you. I look in the mirror and I realize 6 weeks, and for different reasons I had to stop my training for a little while, but in 6 weeks, it's not, if I go back to the gym now, I'm going to find, and I will, actually tomorrow morning, when I go back to the gym, I'm going to find out that my body has responded to the lack of resistance. What does that mean? It means, one time, I used to run every day, and one time I thought, well, I haven't run in a while. I'll just run to this meeting that I have. It's only a mile. I got about half a mile, and I was like, oh, please, somebody else be going to this meeting to pick me up and take me there. You have to start where you're at. And finally, how much you sleep. The average amount of sleep that you should be getting is 7 to 8 hours a day. Now, here's the thing. Your body banks sleep. The same way that you can overdraft a bank account, you can overdraft your sleep account. Have you ever had a night of sleep and realized, I don't feel rested at all? Why? Because you've overdrafted your sleep account. Have you ever noticed that you go on holidays and maybe after a week of lots of sleep, you start to feel better? Why is that? Because you overdrafted your sleep account and you're finally filling it back up. And as you fill it back up, and here's the key thing, it's when you sleep that your body heals. It's when you sleep that your body recovers. It's when you sleep that you renew mental acuity, your mind's ability to think and reason and make decisions. So what do we put all that together as? Is there a magic bullet? Sure there is. It's what you eat, it's what you do, it's what you sleep, how much you sleep. Is that going to sell any infomercials? Probably not. But the reason they're called supplements is they're to help you. They're not to do it for you. So what can we do? You can start right where you're at and take some steps, and you'll see changes just like that. Thank you.